Hello everyone, I'm waiting for somebody here, so I decided to make this quick video while waiting for the person. As a content creator sharing information online, our aim, or at least I would say my aim, is to make sure that I am as clear as possible, that people understand what I'm sharing. But sometimes there's a comment that you get and you begin to ask yourself, does it mean that I'm not clear enough? Does it mean that I am not making sense? Especially if it's something that you have been hammering on, like shouting repeatedly. So let me reiterate. This is about investing in Nigeria, especially for people that live outside Nigeria, people that live abroad, because there's always a back and forth argument going on here about investing in Nigeria. People think that investing in Nigeria is not good because Nigerian economy is volatile, this and that. We agree. But that does not mean that people should not invest in Nigeria. I mean, you should ask yourself, if you keep telling people not to invest in Nigeria, do you know that there are people living in Nigeria? Where would they invest? A lot of people keep saying invest in the US, but it's not everybody that wants to invest in the US. Not everybody wants to invest in stocks in the US. Yeah, you convert money to dollars and you invest there. What if you need the money, assuming you're somebody that relies on income from your investments? A lot of stock investments in the US does not pay dividends. Even if you're investing in dividend stocks, you still need to bring back that money into Nigeria to have access to it. So a lot of people are not interested in doing that. A lot of people are not even tech savvy enough to do that. So you should always have that in mind when saying that people should not invest in Nigeria. And then for those that live abroad, live outside Nigeria, you live in the US, you earn dollars, you live in the UK, you earn pounds, you live in Eurozone, you earn euros, and you want to invest in Nigeria. I always say this: if you want to invest in Nigeria from these areas, once you send any money back to Nigeria, make sure you don't have any plans of repatriating that money, not even the gains from that money, because that's when you will lose money. Okay, for instance, we have investments in Nigeria, we have real estate investments in Nigeria, and we don't have any plans of bringing back that money. Unless you hold us for neck like this, we will just close our eyes, cry, and convert it at the high exchange rate. Yeah, but only when it holds us for neck like this. Else, we have family members back home, we have other things we are doing back home, we have philanthropy we are doing back home. A lot of people in school are under our care that we're training in school. So all the gains from those investments in Nigeria, we make sure they stay in Nigeria. We use it for a lot of things. Okay, so I don't understand why people keep saying, oh, you've lost money because the naira is falling. Even the naira falling, the naira from 1st February or so, naira sank deep into the trenches. But how does the naira sinking against the dollar or against the euro or against the pounds, how does it affect your real estate investment? The only time it will affect you, the only time the fall of the naira will affect you is when you want to convert your gains in Nigeria, or when you want to sell your house in Nigeria and convert it to foreign currency. That is the only time this very high exchange or very low exchange rates will affect you. As long as you leave that money there in Nigeria, it's not going to affect you. I don't know how many times I will say this. And please stop telling me to stop telling people to invest. I'll keep saying it. If you live in Nigeria, you cannot put your money under your bed. You can't even leave it in a bank either. I know how much money left in the banks pay you. If you leave millions of, let me tell you, if you leave 5 million naira in Nigeria, every month they will pay you 2,000 naira. I'm telling you the honest truth. Leaving your money inside the bank is not a good idea. You have to invest it. There are other things you can invest in that will give you a better interest rate, that will help you ride the inflation. I know that deflation in Nigeria now is crazy, because when you say it, even someone told me that my thoughts are clouded because P2B is not the president. But I don't even know how to respond to such people, because everything is there. The facts are there for you. The data is there, but after all, now statistics we go chop. Yeah, the data is there glaring at you. I mean, even Buhari, the worst president ever, of course we thought he was the worst president ever, is better than Tinubu. Yeah, the economic situation of Nigeria when Buhari was president is far better. Have you seen the graph? Yeah, this argument needs to stop. Argument of whether to invest in Nigeria or not to invest in Nigeria. Stop speaking from a place of privilege. If you speak like that, you sound myopic. Yeah, you need to carry everybody along, especially for somebody like me that is sharing information online. While I'm sharing information based on my experience, I still need to tell you from time to time, tell you something that is realistic. I cannot come out here and say, don't invest in Nigeria because the economy is going down. I don't know how else to say this. So this is number one rule. I'm making this video addressing Nigerians in diaspora. In case I have not been making sense all this while that I'm talking about investing in Nigeria. I live outside Nigeria. I've lived outside Nigeria since 2001. I did my first investment ever in Nigeria in 2002. And I don't regret that investment till date. I do not regret it one bit. So I've made money from dividends from that investment over and over again. The shares has appreciated. I'm not going to count that one because I have not sold the shares. I've sold part of them one time, but I still have a majority of the shares I bought in 2002. I still have a majority of the shares I bought back then in my portfolio, and I'm not planning to sell it anytime soon, even though it's quite tempting now to sell. But why am I selling it? I'm not planning to repatriate the money here because the exchange rate is just crazy. Exchange rate may favor you if you're sending to Nigeria, but when you want to bring money out here, it's not going to favor you. When you want to sell your house in Nigeria and move abroad, it's not going to favor you, because if you sell your house in Nigeria now, somebody that sold his or her house just this January, the exchange rate then was 700 naira to $1, but now it's double. So you get half of the money, assuming you're selling your house for 50 million naira. Whatever you would have gotten if you sold the house and converted the money to dollars in January will be half. That's what you get now, right now, if you sold. So that's the only time you lose. For instance, you have a rental property in Nigeria, and the rent you're collecting, you're bringing it back here. I mean, as long as you're still working abroad, you don't really need the money from Nigeria, do you? Unless there's something, like I said, something that came up, like there's a kind of investment. Maybe you want to buy a house wherever you live outside Nigeria, and you need money now for the deposit. Of course, you just close your eyes, cry, convert it, because you know that if you don't buy that house is so good that if you don't buy it, you miss out big time. So you rather lose out in the exchange rate than lose out on the house. You know what I mean? Like everything about investment or buying or whatever, when you want to buy something or go put your money somewhere, it's about weighing your options. You weigh your options. What am I going to lose if I... So right now, I'm not going to gain anything, even though those shares that I'm talking about have risen by a lot. So if I sell them now, what am I going to use the money for? It's not like there's something pressing here that I need the money for, that I want to sell it and convert it as this at this high exchange rate. So I'll just leave it there. We're already in March. By April, I'll receive dividend payout from that investment. The dividend payout comes in all the time. This one, the fall of the naira does not affect it in any way. You can say that inflation affects it, because yes, even if they're increasing the dividend rate, the value of the money when you take that money to go and buy something in Nigeria, is worthless. Yeah, we agreed to that, but you cannot tell me that if I had kept that money under my bed, that I will be better off. No. And I repeat, not everybody will invest outside Nigeria. Not everybody can invest outside Nigeria. You can never go wrong with real estate investments anywhere in the world. Even if it's which countries fell so badly, Venezuela and Zimbabwe, even if it's in such a place, you can never go wrong with that, especially if it's commercial real estate investment. I'm not talking about your personal house or a village house. You know, you guys know my opinion on that. So let me know, what do you think about all this advice about don't invest in Nigeria, don't invest in Nigeria? Should people be putting their money under their beds? Please let me know, because I don't get it. And I'm tired of this kind of argument. I thought we settled this kind of argument a long time ago, but you know, from time to time, you get comments from people that claim to know. Bye. See you in another video.